coach, and I think he's going to do a really good job up there. I look forward to seeing what it looks like down the road as he adds to his 100 career wins.
You know, Jonathan to me is kind of hard to put a thumb on. I mean, he's nothing like Steve was. So how does he fit in that culture up there that's been established over the years? I mean, how does he put his soft-spoken ways into place and make it work for him?
By winning and showing organization.
Yeah.
I mean, that's, Steve, and this is an undertold story as far as, what Steve did up at Piedmont. The athletics director work he took that as seriously as the football coaching. And he was over that program and large and in charge. And that's the thing that Jonathan, I think, is most having to adjust to right now. Is because he didn't have those responsibilities at Sachs. So he's having to bring that on and kind of be over the whole athletics department in a way that he never had to do before. But, Jonathan's he's a smart guy. He'll figure it out.
Give me a quick key to the game Friday.
I think for Piedmont, getting the crowd involved, and I think the team that wins the line of scrimmage and also that has the most big plays in their offense, I think is going to win the ball game.
Yeah, for me, it's Piedmont can't get behind early. I don't think this is a team in Cherokee County you can easily come back on. I think Piedmont needs to score first. If they could get, like a 10-point lead or something like that early in the game, I think things go a lot better for them.
Cherokee's offensive line against that front seven of Piedmont that he talked about.
Yep, absolutely. And Coach Kelly obviously knows what Piedmont brings to the table. And you will not see a football team anywhere in our part of Alabama that believes they are entitled to win more than the Piedmont Bulldogs. And they've earned that right. It's not just talk.
Yeah, and even though they lost a lot of kids that had that here,
yep,
had that program, the kids that are back had all that programming too.
Yeah, absolutely. So, look for it to be an interesting ball game Friday night. All right, what else is on the radar? We talked about Ohatchee and Welborn just a little bit. Oxford's at home against Huntsville. Is that anything other than a Mason Mims show?
I think it's and I picked it as an Oxford win. I think I really like Oxford's skill set this year. They're very intriguing. They got a lot of targets to throw to. In the jamboree against Fort Payne, it was Jaden Lewis and Kamari that transferred from Lincoln last week. It was Nick Richardson all night long. It's kind of pick your poison.
All right, what else is on your list there?
I'll be at Alexandria at Jacksonville. I'm eager to see that group of Jacksonville skill that we were talking about earlier.
I'm interested to see how Alexandria comes back from that bloody nose they got this past Friday night. I mean,
they're going to be hungry.
That is not something that happens to a coached team very often,
and probably not twice. I look for them to be better than they were last week. I still think Jacksonville's the better team.
Yeah, I think so too. All right, what else? What's next?
We talked about Anniston at Andalusia. I think a really good game for teams out down south of here, Central Clay at Benjamin Russell. I saw Benjamin Russell in the FCA 7-on-7 here, and they've got college-looking kids playing their skill positions.
Are you surprised, Joe, that not a lot of people are talking a lot about Clay Central yet?
Well, they lost the running back from last year that really carried them.
Yeah, Terry Heflin.
But Danny's got something coming up. Danny builds a program, not just a team. So
exactly.
They are a team that perpetually plays for November, right? When they won their state championships, they didn't win their region.
Yep.
So
that's right.
This is a team that plays for later. He's building toward the playoffs. He's finding his guys right now.
But don't be surprised if come Friday night when the scores come out on the Bucks Island scoreboard that Central Clay has beaten Benjamin Russell. Don't be surprised.
Maybe. A 7-on-7 is a 7-on-7. I was really impressed with what I saw in Maroon that day. Uh-oh.
All right. Yeah, you turn one of the lights out. We're about to get ready to get dotted out here. All right, next up.
Pleasant Valley at Donahoe, Weaver at Glencoe, and St. James O'Hanley.
Let's talk about Weaver just a minute, because, boy, they came out on fire Friday night, didn't they?
Well, I think they remembered they lost to Donahoe last year.
Yeah.
and too, I mean, we talked to Coach last week. It's just these guys are kind of buying into him. I think he's kind of become an icon out there already. With the push-ups and the sayings. We were talking about their hashtag. He gave us a hashtag last week, didn't he?
Be on that behind.
Be on that behind. But I think
apparently it worked. But they've got one of the area's best players in Caden Gooden too. So I mean, I think obviously he had a really good night against Donahoe, and they go to Glencoe. They go to Glencoe this Friday, and I think that's a game they can win.
I think so too.
And if they go 2-0 out at Weaver after the years they've had, they'll be freaking crazy out there.
They will. They're already pretty excited about what they have. They might even all just drop down into push-ups.
Ken Kofer is the right medicine for what ailed that place.
That and just some players, physically maturing, I think.
Well, Weaver's always had athletes,
Well, I think they went through a gap there where a lot of their best players graduated at once, and then what came up behind them was really young.
Yeah.
But St. James at Hanley is another interesting game. The defending 3A champion against Hanley. I think that's going to be St. James has a new coach.
Does Hanley win that game?
I picked him to win.
You picked him to win?
Like I said, I buy teams.
I think a home game. I think that's a good pick, Joe.
I think Hanley's solid. I'm telling you, Hanley is going to be one of those teams that is going to be around a long time come November.
And a game that's really intriguing to me is Ohatchee at Welborn. That was, when I did my picks this week, that was the toughest pick. I could come up with good arguments for both of them, and I ended up kind of defaulting to the home team, but it wouldn't surprise me to see Ohatchee win that and in what might be the shortest game all season in terms of elapsed time.
Well, we're getting the wrap-up signal. There's the graphics on the screen that tell us it's time to say goodnight. We have had a great show today. Sorry we couldn't get Aniston in, but trust me, they'll be here before the season's over. I can guarantee you that. See you Friday night at Piedmont.
See you Friday.
And you have a good time up at Jacksonville at that brand-new football stadium.
I'll look forward to your insights on the Piedmont Bulldogs next week.
All right, buddy. Well, that's going to do it for us. For the folks behind the scenes, too, Jake running the computer, Alonzo Kirby on the cameras and lights. That's going to do it for us tonight at Struts Wings here in Oxford. We will see you Friday night at the Field of Champions. The countdown to kickoff gets us underway at 6:30. Good night, everyone.
10, 9. Ignition sequence start. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. All engine running. Liftoff.
And region play begins all across the state of Alabama as a couple of longtime rivals go at it in tonight's rivalry matchup as Glencoe will make the short road trip to take on Hokes Bluff. This is the first region game in Class 3A Region 6 for these two teams, as well as we mentioned, the first region week all across the state of Alabama. And we wish you a happy game day, a happy Friday, wherever you are watching us from here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. James Hardy with you, along with Coach Eddie Bullock, as always, and the rest of our FNN crew, as we get things started for week number 2, the third week of the AHSAA 2023 high school football season. And our countdown to kickoff is brought to you by SNH Waterproofing and Construction. And Coach Eddie Bullock, when you look at as far as these two teams, and when it comes to a couple of veteran coaches in Scott Martin for Glencoe, and then longtime head coach Mike Robertson, who the field is named for here at Hokes Bluff. These are basically some old school coaches, like to do things the old fashioned way as far as playing physical football, and really as far as just their styles for their teams, really a lot of old school football we'll be seeing tonight.
Absolutely. I had very familiar with Coach Martin, and had the opportunity during my coaching tenure to coach against Coach Robertson. So I think tonight you're going to see just an old school ballroom brawl.
In fact, that's something that Coach Scott Martin mentioned to me yesterday, is that at least he and Coach Robertson, when it comes to the coaching ranks around the state, there's not a whole lot of coaches anymore, even in the state of Alabama, that have the type of philosophy still that you see in these two coaches.
Absolutely. They are, both of them like to grind and pound, and as we say, 3 yards in a cloud of dust, and that's what they like to do. And I think you'll see a lot of that. And of course, you'll see them spread it out just a little bit, more so on Coach Robertson's side. And Coach Martin will throw it when he have to, but they are typically old school football coaches where they like to run that football.
Now, this is the second game of the season for both of these teams, as it was Glencoe opening their season at home last week, defeating Weaver 24-20, while last Thursday night it was Hokes Bluff going over to Southside and having a tough outing as they lost to the Southside Panthers 37-12. So when you look at these two teams tonight, Eddie, when it comes to not only this rivalry matchup, obviously bragging rights involved, but with it being the first region week of the season and a competitive region that's shaping up for Class 3A Region 6, this is almost a must situation for both of these teams if they want to have a chance to compete for a postseason spot out of the region.
Well, and I think you'll see a much closer game. I think Weaver and Glencoe was probably a little bit more match, versus Southside, because Southside is a step up. So, I think you'll see two very evenly matched teams, and I think it's going to come down to who outlasts who.
Oh, absolutely. In fact, it was last season over at Glencoe, Hokes Bluff edging the Yellow Jackets of Glencoe 21-14. In fact, before we go to our highlights from last week, this is a long-time series for these two teams. They played every year since this series began in 1944, as Glencoe leads the series overall 42-36 with one tie thrown in. But Hokes Bluff has won 7 in a row in this series, and as far as Coach Scott Martin is concerned, that needs to change as far as the Glencoe Yellow Jackets getting as far as a streak of their own going. So, as we continue our SNH countdown to kickoff, we'll take a look back at a historic night last night at Piedmont, or at least last week, I should say, at Piedmont, as Jonathan Miller opened up a new chapter in the Piedmont Bulldogs football program, but it was Cherokee County stealing the show just over on Highway 278 last Friday night.
Starts to go off of Cornejo's 8-yard gain. As Cornejo up the middle, he'll have the first down and a lot more as he's deep into Piedmont territory and drags the tackler with him. Woods also in the game as Cornejo, direct snap off the right side, and he bangs his way toward the end zone and in for the touchdown. Piedmont wasting no time as Wilson back to throw, lofts it down the field, has a receiver behind the defense and caught. This is going to go. Touchdown, Ishmael Bethel. As here's Woods off the right side going, check Woods indeed into the end zone. Touchdown for Cherokee County.
Well, it's just power.
Another red zone opportunity as here's Woods off the right side going, check Woods indeed into the end zone. Touchdown for Cherokee County.
Well,
stop, looks for a receiver under pressure and going down inside the 15-yard line as by 6. A long yardage situation as Tittle under pressure, rolling to our near side as he has an open receiver complete at the 40-yard line as that's Frampton. Here's
they got him out.
Cornejo throwing wide open and all alone for the touchdown is the tight end Ben Mosley. Rolls, looking for a man downfield, and now fires, and that's into traffic, and is it intercepted? And yes, it is. Here's Wilson dropping under pressure, sidesteps the tackler, throws downfield, has a receiver, and incomplete. What's shown by Cherokee County is Wilson throwing near side, complete. As no, they'll say looks like a interception.
Oh yes, he took it from him.
Down the middle and intercepted. Intercepted by Jace Turner. Under 50 seconds, probably a couple more snaps, and you can take this one to the house and for the road for Keyshawn Woods. And no, they'll just go right up the middle with Tay Diamond as he'll add one more score to take it back as far as the winning margin.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
from the Loft Tackle Store,
from the team in service,
from the team in parts,
from the sales team,
from the Bucks Island family. Good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
The Food Barn in Raglan offers the best in good old-fashioned hometown service when you're shopping for groceries, plus the latest ways to get great food specials your way. Click on RaglanFoodBarn.com. Follow the Food Barn on Facebook and listen to the River for weekly specials.
Where you can get everything you need from down on the farm and it won't cost you a leg or an arm.
And they're open 7 days a week. For the best cuts on quality meats, great service, and great prices, it's the Food Barn in Raglan.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
From Mike Robertson Field, James Hardy with you, along with the FNN crew, as we'll send it down to the field for our national anthem. Our national anthem from the marching band from Hokes Bluff High School. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock, and Jim Jacobs joining us for a look at our big ones as our countdown to kickoff rolls on. Presented to you by S&H Waterproofing and Construction LLC this week. And, of course, when you look at the season opener, but also the opening week of region play, there's a lot of big ones this week, fellas, around our area and the state of Alabama. First, beginning with Jacksonville at Handley.
Boy, it doesn't get any bigger than this, does it, Coach?
Absolutely. That game right there, hey, you're licking your chops right there.
Everybody says this is a game for the region title tonight, so it's down at Handley, Eddie. Big fronts for the Tigers. A little bit of question mark in the secondary. Best quarterback in the area at Jacksonville in Jim Ogle. Got lots of guys he can throw it to. What do you think the keys to this game are?
Well, exactly what you said. Jacksonville having a great quarterback and Handley having a weak secondary, because Ogle, he can throw it all over the field. And, it's going to be tough, man, but it's hard for me to go against Clint Smith, because I know what he does, but, I'm kind of leaning toward Handley at home, in a very close one.
Yeah, I think this one's going down to the wire, James.
Absolutely.
I think so, too, and I think for someone like Jim Ogle, I think this is his time to shine. So I'm going to go with Jacksonville on the road.
Terry Howell. And music. Court. Nice football game of the week. Glencoe, Hokes, Bluff Funeral Home and Cemetery. And you'll have Barry still into the block in the back. With our FNN and thanks to them for providing our high school football to the Waco has rolled mightily so far. The two Glencoe turnovers. A 20-yard touchdown run by Blaine Barron has provided the only scoring so far in this one. It'll be a third down and a couple coming up after a quarterback keeper by Brady Kitchens got him 9 yards. Line to reach the 26-yard line for the first down. And we'll have a whistle, and looks as if a timeout called for by Glencoe. We'd like to certainly remind you and thank one of our FNN sponsors as far as FNN Bank, one of our longtime partners when it comes to the FNN High School Football Game of the Week for their sponsorship of the 2023 season. As our first quarter brought to you by Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home
and Cemetery. And a big thanks to all of our sponsors this evening for helping us out as far as getting our coverage to you of the FNN High School football game of the week. This is the opening week of region play across the state of Alabama. Class 3A, Region 6 for these two teams as and folks learning into and that does there a whole tractor that's down for this pass side up, and we're gonna have out of the Barron gets the call right up the middle. Big hole up the middle. He'll get to Superior Gas first down to the 30-yard line on a gain of 17.
That was a hold. I think you could.
Under Superior Gas first down. That's our first quarter brought to you by Glencoe, Hokes, Bluff, Field, toward the end of the final play of the first quarter. At the Glencoe 30-yard line. On the middle, give to the full for another Superior Gas first down. As your score, the Hokes Bluff Eagles 7 and the visiting Glencoe Yellow Jackets 0 here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
At Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we put you first. With more than 15 years experience, our family-owned business provides a range of services such as custom prosthetics, sports bracing, diabetic shoes, and mobility. We are located centrally in Alexandria, Alabama. Give us a call today to set up a free evaluation appointment. Also, ask about home delivery.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
It's quiet now, but in a few hours, the stadium will be full. The players will get dressed and prepare themselves for the challenges that lay ahead. Players dedicating themselves to succeeding on the field. Success begins with having a plan, along with the discipline to execute it. A plan that begins with choosing the right financial partner for life. People's Independent Bank, where service, solutions, and smart advice are the foundation of our bank. Isn't it time you win? People's Independent Bank. You'll like banking with us. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Blair Auto and Body presents our second quarter as the counter give goes to Barron off the right side. As on first down to begin the second quarter, it was Hokes Bluff losing 3, and there also is a flag on the play. So a face mask, a personal foul called on Glencoe. That's a big penalty that time for the Glencoe Yellow Jackets as Blair Auto and Body does present our second quarter.
Absolutely, that's a big penalty right there. You know, they had them stuff.
Face mask on the defense for the first down.
Blair Auto Body located on Highway 278 East in Gadsden, as they offer the best body work in North Alabama when it comes to structural, aluminum, mechanical, refinish, detail, and OEM certification. Just underway in the second quarter, as that'll advance the football almost right at the first down marker. 7-0. Hokes Bluff has led wire to wire so far. They took advantage of the second fumble in the first quarter for Glencoe. And then the very next play after that fumble, it was Blaine Barron rushing from 20 yards out. So Hokes Bluff just about probably a full yard or so away from the Superior Gas first down. The line of scrimmage at the 10-yard line. It'll be one receiver, Anderson Morgan, to the near side. So you've had Carter and Barron get some big holes. It was Carter on the fullback dive getting the Superior Gas first down, a gain of 6.
Carter had some great footwork on that. You seen him do a jump hop to his left and then get back inside to the hole there. He did a great job.
So it'll be first down and goal off to our right from the 4-yard line. It'll be Carter and Barron once again as the fullbacks, or at least as the running backs. Carter fullback and Barron the tailback, as it'll be Barron on the call as he finds room and plows into the end zone for the touchdown. Second touchdown rushing of the night for Blaine Barron, as you'll see him on our second look go right off of right guard that time and have an easy touchdown that time, Coach, as our replay presented by People's Independent Bank.
Just old school lead right there. He did a great job. I mean, just getting up there and now behind his blocking.
So Blaine Barron with touchdown runs of now 20 yards and 4 yards. So that was the second red zone trip, courtesy of Beans and Greens for Hokes Bluff, as it'll be a Leon Chin PAT upcoming. It's already made one tonight. Low line drive is up, and it is good. So we'll take the timeout as Hokes Bluff up 14-0 here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week as we're in the second quarter. Leon Chin set for another kickoff thanks to our friends at Hokes Bluff Drug Shop. As we are still early in the second quarter, brought to you by Blair Auto and Body, is the Hokes Bluff Drug Shop kickoff, end over end by Chin. As it'll be Aaron Mann dropping in and recovering around the 15-yard line, as he'll advance for about 9 or 10 yards to the 24-yard line. And right now, Eddie, it just seems that Glencoe is just a bit out of sync, especially on offense and in special teams.
Absolutely. He just bobbled that ball there. Should have been a clear catch. And, they had a couple of high snaps and a couple of fumbles. It just seemed like they're out of sorts a little bit.
At least for tonight, as far as the keys, according to Coach Scott Martin, execution and being able to grind it out. And right now, Glencoe not being able to come close to executing those keys so far. Here's Aaron Mann up the middle as he gets some decent blocking and gets at least an okay surge, as he'll get about 3 yards or so on first down.
I think Hokes Bluff
He's had one pass attempt so far in this first half. A second down and 7 as Aaron Mann gained 3. There's the snap. And under pressure is Kitchens as he'll try and escape trouble and advances upfield and gets close to the Superior Gas first down. I'll tell you what, I thought he was going to get sacked in the backfield. Give a lot of credit to Kitchens for fighting through all that traffic and nearly getting a first down.
Well, that's one of the few times that they were able to get the edge. Like I said, Coach Mark Robertson teams are extremely, good at setting the edge and maintaining the edge, and that was one time that they was able to get the corner on them.
Well, one thing that Coach Scott Martin for Glencoe noted was how big, especially up front on both sides of the ball, that Hokes Bluff is.
Absolutely.
Here's Montgomery in motion, It'll be the quarterback keeper for Kitchens as he'll advance forward for that Superior Gas first down. We're under 10 minutes left until halftime here at Mike Robertson Stadium on the campus of Hokes Bluff High School here in the eastern part of Etowah County. First region week of the season across the state of Alabama. As a big region game, obviously with bragging rights in this long-time rivalry at stake. Hokes Bluff are looking to extend their series win streak to 8 games. Approaching 9 minutes left until halftime. Shotgun for Kitchens as he'll have receivers to each side. It'll be man on the call, and he's not going to get much against that big defensive front. Maybe gets about a yard that time.
Well, they're not moving them, you know. They actually happen to run around them. In order to establish line of scrimmage, you're going to have to move somebody.
Brayson Hayes that time along the defensive front on the tackle, 6 foot, 230 pounds. So it'll be a 2nd down and 9 from the 37. And when you really haven't shown the ability to throw the football, that's being behind the 8 ball as far as the offense that we're seeing from Glencoe tonight. Shotgun as the RPO pass to the near side, and that's going to be an easy interception for Anderson Morgan as he could take it to the house. Down the near sideline, cuts it up the field and into the end zone for a 51-yard interception for the touchdown.
That's just a terrible read right there. I mean, he just kind of threw it up, and you know, he overthrew his receiver, and by 5 yards, and it's just, you know, those big offensive linemen's not going to get over there to make that play.
Check that for Anderson. Morgan will add another couple of yards on that interception return and call that 53 yards on the pick six. So now up to 20-0 in favor of Hokes Bluff. As you saw the second look at Anderson Morgan just about going untouched down the sideline thanks to People's Independent Bank on that second look. Leon Chen already with 2 successful PATs. Gets a little more lift that time and sends it right through the uprights. We'll take the timeout. 8:14 left until halftime. It is Hokes Bluff 21 and Glencoe nothing.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Been an active night for the Hokes Bluff place kicker, Leon Chen, as he'll have yet another Hokes Bluff drug shop kickoff coming up for the Hokes Bluff Eagles, wearing their green tops and the gray bottoms as the home team this evening, and Glencoe in the white tops and the bottoms, and also the black helmets. Here's the end-over-end kick by Chen as he'll send man inside the 5-yard line. Aaron Mann finding some decent running room as he gets to the 30-yard line. So this is almost a must-score drive for Glencoe, just not only to get on the board, Eddie, but get some momentum on their side.
Well, not only that, I mean, it's a must-drive situation. They're going to have to get deep in Hokes Bluff territory just to have some kind of confidence because, you know, they you kind of playing uphill, and it's tough when you're doing that, you know.
The FNN Game of the Week this season brought to you by our buddies, our friends at the Grub Mart, home of that 99-cent bag of ice. And after all the hard hitting we're seeing tonight, these players certainly going to need a lot of those 99-cent bag of ice after this evening's game. No receivers on the play as Kitchens will get the snap, and a hard hit that time right at impact on the handoff, as it was Connor Montgomery immediately getting leveled after taking the handoff, as you had Colton Shields laying the lick that time for Hokes Bluff.
Oh, that is a true definition of a train wreck. He he got level, you know. He's kind of shaken up. I mean, time he got it, I mean, he just.
Basically, it was like Montgomery was the car, and as you mentioned, Shields like that locomotive that came right into that car that time as a runaway freight train.
Yeah, absolutely.
7:46 left in the opening half. We'll take the timeout with them as there's a timeout on the field here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
That Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were paid $10 million in bribes.
The floodgates are literally open here.
Mike Rogers is standing up to crooked Joe Biden in D.C. Mike Rogers is our way of fighting back.
It'll be Aaron Mann on the give on 2nd and 11 as he'll find some room off of right end and cross the original line of scrimmage and advance to around the 34-yard line on a gain of 5 to set up a 3rd down and 6. James Hardy with you, Coach Eddie Bullock, and our FNN crew here from Mike Robertson Stadium here on the campus of Hokes Bluff High School. Blair Auto and Body brings to you our second quarter this evening here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. Officially a 3rd and 7 upcoming. It'll be Kitchens in the shotgun, handing off to Mann, and he's going to go nowhere against that stout defensive line for Hokes Bluff. You had Connor Ford, the linebacker, helping out, really kind of leading the way that time on the tackle. Also, Drew McCarver having a solid game defensively coming off the bench for Coach Rob's Hokes Bluff Eagles.
Hokes Bluff has a lot of beef on that front line right there. It's just tough to move them.
Well, and talking with both coaches as well when they were assessing the region, Eddie, they both mentioned just how deep this region is top to bottom, and really as far also how there really are no off nights this year in Class 3A Region 6s. There's Montgomery's punt to the far side going out of bounds around the 28-yard line. So 6 minutes and about 6.5 minutes remaining in the first half. Just under 6.5 minutes to go in the first half, and so far it's been all Hokes Bluff as Blaine Barron has rushed it in twice from 20 yards in the first quarter, then a 4-yard run early in the second quarter, and then it was Anderson Morgan with a 53-yard pick 6 to cap off the scoring. So Hokes Bluff will take over 1st down and 10, and as far as what they'd like to do.
Face mask. That way, yeah.
And there you hear Barry Ragsdale, our head referee, telling us that there was a face mask on the play after the kick. So at least as we were saying, Eddie, with what both of these teams like to do, at least in this case for Hokes Bluff, with a 3-touchdown lead, it's definitely just going to be their offensive line riding on that really kind of undermanned Glencoe defensive line and just trying to blow them off the ball really the rest of the game.
You have to, and if you're Glencoe, you got to try to play field position. Like they just had a great punt, and, you get it, nullified by a face mask, and it just, you can't keep getting those penalties and, helping Hokes Bluff out.
Timeout on the field with 6:18 remaining until halftime. As your score remains, Hokes Bluff 21 and Glencoe nothing on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
Located in Alexandria, Alabama, Ron's Barbecue is now back open 10 to 8 Wednesday through Sunday. A local, family-owned and operated business, Ron's is providing slow-smoked ribs, barbecue chicken, and more. Known for the huge buffalo chicken tenders and the delicious smash burger, Ron's is perfect for the family night out or a lunchtime meeting. Come on out and try Calhoun County's newest local barbecue restaurant.
Oh,
6 minutes, 18 seconds remaining until halftime. The FNN Game of the Week brought to you every week by Urban Rustique, the vendor mall all under one roof on Highway 78 in Oxford. As we'll have, looks like whistles blow the play dead with a flag on the play.
On defense.
And they'll say, at least Barry Ragsdale will indicate the offside.
Side on the defense. Be first down.
So a first down and 5 coming up after the free 5 yards given up by Glencoe. And I imagine Coach Scott Martin not going to be too happy with his team when it comes to 6 minutes and 17 seconds later in the halftime locker room.
Not the penalties and the turnovers. You know, you're talking 3 turnovers, and right now you're looking at about 4 penalties, maybe 5. So
give to Barron in huge room and more than the superior gas first down for Blaine Barron as he's still on his feet. As it'll be the ball inside the 10-yard line and a red zone opportunity coming up once again for Hokes Bluff thanks to Beans and Greens. And we'll take a People's Independent Bank second look at that long run by Blaine Barron.
You're looking at a counter. You're looking at a kick-out block right there, and he's going to turn it up in there. Right there. That's the kick-out block that freed him up right there.
Gets right by Jake Boggs, the linebacker, inside linebacker, rather, as it was Barron advancing all the way to the 6-yard line.
That's the old counter tray right there.
Gain of 47 yards for Barron, closing in on 100 yards in the first half as Barron going up the middle as he'll drag a couple of tacklers with him just shy of the goal line. Parker Gullidge on the tackle.
And I tell you, it's amazing, James. I coached against Coach Robertson about 10 years ago, and nothing has changed. He's doing the same thing he did 10 years ago.
Well, I guess my eyes playing a little trick with me that time because a bit further upfield from the goal line. They'll say about, maybe a half-yard gain, so shy of the 5 still at the 6-yard line. But second and goal, however, on this red zone opportunity for Hokes Bluff. Beans and Greens presenting us our red zone chances for both of these teams as here's Whitaker on the bootleg near side, cutting it up the field and diving into the end zone for the touchdown. Nifty footwork that time by quarterback Bryce Whitaker as he faked on play action, and you'll see on our second look by People's Independent Bank as it was Whitaker finding the hole and able to scoot on in on the diving effort for 6.
And Hokes Bluff did a great job. You didn't see it you have to watch it on the replay, but they had a guy to come back who had an opportunity for a blindside block, but instead of him getting that penalty on the blindside block, he just used his hands to shield the guy, which is very smart, and I know Coach Robertson has taught that.
Here's Leon Chin for yet another PAT try. 3 of 3 tonight. Kick a bit low that time as it'll be no good. So first missed PAT for Hokes Bluff as we'll take the timeout, and you'll see Bryce Whitaker round the corner for his first rushing touchdown of the night.
If you'll look right there, you'll see that block coming up right there. He has a chance to clean him out, but instead he just used his hands to shield him, and that's perfectly legal right there instead of getting that blindside block right there. So I know he's been taught that.
We'll take the timeout. It is 27-0 in favor of Hokes Bluff. Leon Chin sends another Hokes Bluff drug shop kickoff to Aaron Mann as he'll advance across the 30 at the far side to the 31-yard line. And it's been all Hokes Bluff so far, as we'd certainly like to thank Hokes Bluff Drug Shop for presenting our kickoffs this evening, located on 5702 Highway 278 East here in Hokes Bluff, as they have certainly all of your medication needs, as well as greeting cards that you can get text notifications through them, vaccinations, automatic refills, gift shops, prescription refills, and a whole lot more. Their number at 256-494-1918. Shotgun for Kitchens, as Glencoe has, needless to say, struggled tonight, as Aaron Mann will just get swallowed up after getting, well, back to the line of scrimmage. Right now, the way things are going, Eddie, this is going to be, thankfully for them, a short trip back after tonight, no matter what happens, but it's going to be seem like a long trip if they don't get things turned around quick.
Absolutely. It's going to be a long, short trip because, but they're going to have to do a lot more to get through that massive defensive front that Hokes Bluff have. Those three guys up front are huge.
And, after some at least your coaching days, after these type of games, long practices the following Monday.
Absolutely.
Here's Kitchens trying to round the corners. He'll get met in the backfield and tattooed for the loss.
Well, it's the old buck sweep. He has to turn that up right there. He's running the buck sweep. If you'll look, I'll show you on the replay where the two guards are pulling, but they have to he has to have one to kick out and one to turn up. See the guards pulling right here. One has a kick out and the other one has a turn up, and he has to run that ball right in the gap right there, but he's running wide, and when he runs wide, he outruns his blocking.
Right into the hands of Anderson Morgan, who's had an outstanding game defensively so far, including a 53-yard pick six earlier this second quarter. Here's Kitchens rolling away from pressure, directing traffic as he'll now turn it up the field and get some good yards across the original line of scrimmage, but well shy of the first down on 3rd down and 17.
Now, if he had a little Patrick Mahomes in him, then he'd have threw it back across the field there, because he had a receiver that was clearly wide open. But unless you get extremely talented high school player, coaches teach them not to throw back across their body like that,
Right. There's only one Patrick Mahomes,
Absolutely.
Of course, that can do that. And the rest of that drive will be up with us the rest of the game. It'll be 4th down after an 8-yard scramble by Kitchens, the quarterback, as it'll be Montgomery kicking it away on the punt. Fair catch to wait for, as the returners will back off, and Glencoe will down it at the Hokes Bluff 37-yard line. Our second quarter brought to you this evening by Blair Auto and Body. Quality auto collision repair located on 1900 Highway 278 East in Gadsden. You can find them on Facebook and at www.blairautobody.com. Just under 3 minutes to go until halftime, and all Hokes Bluff so far, as they've dominated this rivalry matchup. Also, the region opener for both teams. Counter give goes to Barron. Huge hole, as he'll have the superior gas first down and a whole lot more, as he'll cross the Glencoe 40 to the 39-yard line.
Well, Coach Barton is old school. They'll go to counter Trey again. If you watch clearly, when he's going to do a counter step. He's going to do a counter step. There's your kick out right there, and you're going to see him turn it up in there. Just a wide trap, that's all.
So far, Barron, probably at this point, maybe over 100 yards, but certainly 2 touchdowns in the bank tonight. We'll have the give right up the middle for Carter, as he'll go Barron right through the middle of the defense for the touchdown.
Just a straight dive.
So we'll take a second look here in just a moment. Was right initially the first time. The fullback Carter almost going untouched. As we'll take a People's Independent Bank second look. And it's the fullback give right to Alex Carter, And he knows what to do with it on a 40-yard touchdown run.
And, Jim, if we could look at that again quickly, after the kick or whatever, you'll see how Hokes Bluff offensive line is just digging them out the trenches. That's what we used to call we used to tell the offensive line, just dig them up out of there, even if they go low, just dig them out. You're going to see several guys, low pad level, right in this area here, and you're going to see them just dig them out. They just dig them out of there.
There's Carter right up the middle, and I don't think a defender for Glencoe even touched him on his way to the end zone.
Absolutely. They got him in there, and a play is designed to go through the A gap, but when they got him, they turned them all to the inside, and he was able to slide off closer to the B gap untouched.
So we'll have the Hokes Bluff special teams unit come out for the PAT after the first of 3 timeouts called here in the first half by Hokes Bluff. Obviously, Coach Robb is going to be very happy with his team going into the halftime locker room as far as just being able to physically dominate their region rival, their longtime rival, in fact, at home this evening. But I wonder if you were a player, Eddie, what would be more miserable right now, going into the halftime locker room or the Monday practice if Glencoe cannot turn things around?
Hey, that Monday practice, because you got the whole weekend to think about it, and, it's just tough. Coach Robertson will have a couple of things to fuss about when they go in the locker room, though. And, now, of course, that's that interception and those 2 missed PATs.
Well, there's the PAT kick that doings off of the upright, no good, as we'll take the timeout with Hokes Bluff now up 33-0 here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. .2:23 remaining until halftime as Leon Chin kicks away the Hokes Bluff Drug Shop kickoff as it goes into the end zone for the touchback. And Glencoe at least wishing for this clock to run down to 000 so they can regroup in the halftime locker room. As it's been all Hokes Bluff so far in this rivalry matchup that dates back to 1944, as these two teams have played every year against each other since World War II.
Well, and James, you go back to the early first quarter, and, if you're Glencoe, you wonder what happened. How did it just, change?
We'll have a shotgun look, and we'll have a whistle to blow the play dead. A lot of sloppy play for Glencoe this evening as they turned it over twice in the first quarter. And they've turned it over a total of 3 times, 2 of those leading directly or right to on the next play, Hokes Bluff touchdowns. There's man on the carry up the middle as he'll drag a tackler forward to about the 25-yard line. We'll call it the 24 as Connor Ford from his inside linebacking spot on the tackle.
Just got those big, massive bodies up front. They just wearing them down, and it's not going to get any easier. The same bodies coming out the second half.
What do you think Coach Scott Martin's going to tell his Glencoe team at the locker room, Eddie?
Well, I know he's going to tell them to fight. That's his M.O. He's never coached anybody that didn't have that grit and that gut. So, Coach Martin will tell them to forget the score, but we need to keep fighting. I want to see how much fight you got in you.
Kitchens pass to Connor Montgomery. Short hops incomplete to the far side. And so we're under 2 minutes left until we get to halftime, and a 3rd and 6 upcoming. Line to reach for the first down is the 30. Kitchens in the shotgun as it'll be Montgomery in motion. Man on the call as he'll get across the 30-yard line, the spot he needed for the Superior Gas first down. It is Brogdon on the tackle. Brody Brogdon coming up, not having to really have a lot of work so far as that cornerback spot is. There you see Superior Gas, 75 years in operation, bringing us one of the rare Glencoe first downs this evening.
And you can see Hokes Bluff is extremely physical because they, each time they making contact, you can see the impact, and you can see Glencoe is kind of stopping in their tracks,
80 seconds remaining until the half. Montgomery in motion, as it'll be man up the middle, as he's had to fight for any yards that he's been able to get this evening, as he'll get one right into the teeth of the Hokes Bluff Eagles defense.
And see, that was a buck sweep again, so instead, last time they ran it, they ended up getting a tackle for a loss for 3 or 4 yards, but on that particular play, even though it wasn't much, he turned it up and was able to get a yard out of it.
The Calhoun County Commission will present our halftime coverage coming up in less than 1 minute, as Glencoe just trying to limp their way into the locker room. Here's the snap, and the give to Aaron Mann up the middle as he'll bounce it off to the far side, at least to the far hash marks, rather, as he'll come up just about a yard shy of the Superior Gas first down. Aaron Mann had a big evening last week. Last Friday night in the season opener for Glencoe against Weaver, as he nearly got to 200 yards and 29 carries against Weaver in their 24-20 win. Should be one more play coming up, as the snap and the keeper and the option now to Montgomery, as he'll get the Superior Gas first down and dive forward to the Hokes Bluff 45-yard line as we have come to halftime. All Hokes Bluff so far, as Blaine Barron has scored a couple of times. Also Anderson Morgan with an electrifying pick 6 early in the second quarter. Hokes Bluff 33 and Glencoe nothing as we go to halftime here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
At Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we put you first. With more than 15 years' experience, our family-owned business provides a range of services such as custom prosthetics, sports bracing, diabetic shoes, and mobility. We are located centrally in Alexandria, Alabama. Give us a call today to set up a free evaluation appointment. Also,
Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, we see our community as extended family.
Hello, I'm Mark Box. My wife Holly and I would like to thank the families that we have had the honor to serve. We see our community as our extended family. That's why we work so hard to invest in our community and the families that call it home. At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, you'll find services that are tailored to meet your needs, whatever those may be.
Piedmont Cutoff Highway in Glencoe and Highway 431 in Anniston. Our family serving your family.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
From the Loft Tackle Store,
from the team in service,
from the team in
From the sales team,
from the Bucks Island family, good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
It's quiet now, But in a few hours, a stadium will be full. The players will get dressed and prepare themselves for the challenges that lay ahead. Players dedicating themselves to succeeding on the field. Success begins with having a plan, along with the discipline to execute it. A plan that begins with choosing the right financial partner for life. People's Independent Bank, where service, solutions, and smart advice are the foundation of our bank. Isn't it time you win? People's Independent Bank. You'll like banking with us. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
We're at halftime here at Coach Mike Robertson Stadium on the campus of Hokes Bluff High School in Hokes Bluff, Alabama. And there you see Hokes Bluff dominating the first half, up 33-0 at halftime. As always, our halftime coverage brought to you by the Calhoun County Commission as they remind you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. But we're going to take a look at what Hokes Bluff has to offer us. And when it comes to the distinguished Mayor Scott Reeves joining us up here in the press box at halftime, we certainly appreciate our trip up here and certainly appreciate you joining us here at halftime, Mayor.
Thank you, and we appreciate y'all being in Hokes Bluff tonight. Y'all don't get to come out here a whole lot, and I want to thank Jim and all the staff and y'all being here from FNN, and we appreciate y'all being in Hokes Bluff.
I tell you what, I always love to come out to these communities around our area of Alabama, really around the state of Alabama, and just see how the high school football culture is ingrained as far as the communities, especially on Friday nights. But I'm just reminded, as far as Coach Rob, one of our favorite coaches in the region, really just as much a fixture as far as all that time he spent as far as in this community leading the Hokes Bluff Eagles each and every Friday night for 3 decades now.
Yes, Coach Rob's he's been around. He's been around just about as long as dirt has in Etowah County, but in here in Hokes Bluff. But he's had a phenomenal career here, and we appreciate Coach Rob and what he does for our kids and teaching them, not only about how to play the game of football, but how to win in life and how to be good young men when they exit high school, and if they don't choose to go to college. And citizens. That's the main thing about what you our coach job of that.
And as well as
this will be our annual city, I believe, 9 years. And have a really good show. It's just a little thank you to our citizens for what they do, and I'll tell you this right quick: our citizens is what makes us a good place to live, work, and play. And the citizens, they shop here, they spend here, and our tax money stays here. And this is a thank you when we get to have this every year on the 4th Saturday in September for appreciating them for what they do for our communities and supporting our merchants and spending their dollar here in Hokes Bluff. We got a great lineup this year for City Fest. We look forward to it.
Kind of describe the lineup that y'all do have for City Fest.
Okay, I'll kind of take you. That morning it'll start off at 7 o'clock, and we'll have a breakfast by the Lions Club. It's a good hearty breakfast. Of course, you can tell a guy like me, I got 270 good reasons I like to eat. But it'll be a breakfast by the Lions Club. There'll also be a car show cruise in, and there'll be a kids zone. All of it's free. There'll be live entertainment starting at 3. We got about between 60 and 65 vendors that'll be on hand, from arts and crafts to food. I mean, just a good turnout for vendors. And then our first band start at 3 o'clock, be led off with the Foggy Holla, some of our hometown Hokes Bluff guys, Glenn Williams and his boys. As soon as Glenn gets through playing, he's our MC. So as soon as Foggy Holla plays, we got some boys. Another guy that's from Hokes Bluff, Sons of the Moon, Chris Kelly and his guys. We got a new guy coming out of Atlanta, Caleb King, he'll be playing third. And then we got Midnight State of Mind, some more Hokes Bluff guys. Brett Shields and his band, they'll be playing after Caleb King. Then we'll have the Pleasant Gap Band. These guys are from Calhoun County, from y'all's neck of the woods. Kevin Minton and those guys, I've heard them play several times. They do a great job. And our headliner next 2 weeks from tomorrow will be featured Them Dirty Roses. James and Frank Ford's mom and dad grew up here in Hokes Bluff, and they're Hokes Bluff natives. I think they went to Southside, but we won't hold that against them. But we're looking forward to having them guys, and looking forward to a big turnout. We always have anywhere from 2,000 to 3,000 people, and it's just a great family event, great atmosphere, and it's just, like I said, it's good for our community, and a lot of good positive things about City Fest.
I hear the passion in your voice when it comes to being able to lead the city of Hokes Bluff, being able to promote the community. Just what has it meant for you to get the trust of your citizens as far as being the mayor? Hey,
I tell everybody all the time, there are some days that are tough and some days are hard, but it's very rewarding serving the people of Hokes Bluff. All in all, we got a great community. People always like to work together. Like I said, they shop and they support our local merchants, and that's what makes our town what it is. You know, people spending their dollar here in Hokes Bluff, and they're able to see their dollar work here in our community.
And just kind of talk about, I know we came up here as far as late in the softball season on our last trip up here to Hokes Bluff High School. Just what does the overall athletics here at Hokes Bluff High School, how meaningful is it for this community here?
I'm also on the board of directors for the Alabama League of Municipalities in Montgomery, and you won't believe the conversations a lot when we go to Montgomery and other cities about how important it is for communities that come together on Friday night at football games and all of their athletic events, whether it's girls softball or baseball or volleyball or track or whatever. It's an important part. And I try to see sometimes, what if we didn't have a high school in Hokes Bluff? What would our town really be like? It would really be detrimental if we didn't have a high school. So we're proud of our high school. We just got a brand new elementary school, about $15 million. And I'd like to thank Dr. Cosby and Etowah County Board of Education for getting us that school. Been a long time coming, been a long time waiting, since about 1942. But it's really been nice, and we've done a lot of paving upgrades around the school. I'd like to thank the county for that. They've paved a section of Main Street out there, really improved the landscape around our school. Our ALDOT director, John Cooper, he's seen it, got us some funds from federal funds from the Fed levels, and we did Appalachian Highway, and it's just really things have come together and really exploded kind of here in Hokes Bluff. Got some new businesses looking to locate here, so it's always an exciting time, and glad to be a small part of it.
Look into the future, kind of describe some of the other things you want to be able to do for the city.
Well, you always want to maintain a good revenue stream. That's always important, and really about the most important thing. You know, in our services, we always want to provide a top-notch police department and top-notch fire department, and you know, see that our citizens are took care of. We got a swimming pool that's getting close to going on 50 years old. We got one of the few public swimming pools around still in Etowah County. So we always want to try to take care of our citizens, upgrade our ball fields for our youth, and try to keep them heading in a positive direction. You'll be able to see it at work paving roads, of that nature.
I tell you what, with hot weather we had, especially to open up the season, I think Eddie would like to have jumped in that pool as far as how hot it was, especially during the first couple of games of the season.
You was talking about Coach Rob. He runs the pool too.
There you go.
We talk about it a lot. We've had 3 coaches in 50 years up here, dating back to my cousin H.K. Cootie Reeves. Then I played for Danny Payne, and now here's Coach Rob. It's been over 50 years we've had 3 coaches. Those same 3 coaches in the swimming pool.
Very nice, very nice. Well, we certainly, Mayor, appreciate you for joining us.
Yes, sir.
Certainly.
Thank you for having us.
Mayor Scott Reeves joining us at halftime. We'll take this time out in the FNN High School football game of the week.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreation facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens intensely support the arts. If you're considering new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You may be glad it.
First. 15 years experience, our family owns Sports Diabetes Alexandria, Alabama. Give us a call today to set up a free evaluation appointment. Also, ask about home delivery.
Loaded in Alexandria. And when they provide slow ribs, barbecue chicken, and the huge
The FNN High School Football Game of the Week rolls on as we'll send it down to the field for Calhoun County Commission coverage of halftime for the Hokes Bluff High School Marching Band. Hokes Bluff Marching Band, and also earlier the Glencoe Marching Band performing at Mike Robertson Stadium here at halftime, as we'll send it to the timeout, and we'll set up the beginning of the second half after this timeout here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNN Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnn.bank. Member FDIC.
Today's real estate market requires expertise to navigate the buying and selling of property. You need a realtor that looks at you like family and not a dollar sign. If you've been thinking about buying, selling, or investing in real estate, contact the trusted agent, Alan Ray. He can educate you and walk you through the process from start to finish. And Alan Ray is here for support after the sale. His customers have access to him years later. You're more than a number, and you should be treated that way. And you are with Realtor Alan Ray.
At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, we see our community as extended family.
Hello, I'm Mark Box. My wife Holly and I would like to thank the families that we have had the honor to serve. We see our community as our extended family. That's why we work so hard to invest in our community and the families that call it home. At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, you'll find services that are tailored to meet your needs, whatever those may be.
Piedmont Cutoff Highway in Glencoe and Highway 431 in Anniston. Our family serving your family.
The Food Barn in Raglan offers the best in good old-fashioned hometown service when you're shopping for groceries, plus the latest ways to get great food specials your way. Click on RaglanFoodBarn.com. Follow the Food Barn on Facebook and listen to The River for weekly specials.
Where you can get everything you need from down on the farm and it won't cost you a leg or an arm.
And they're open 7 days a week. For the best cuts on quality meats, great service, and great prices, it's the Food Barn in Raglan.
Closing out our halftime coverage here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, brought to you each and every week by our friends at the Calhoun County Commission that invite you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock, Jim Jacobs, and the rest of our FNN crew here at Mike Robertson Stadium on the campus of Hokes Bluff High School, and it's been all Hokes Bluff in the first half, as they lead 33-0 as we're about to begin the third quarter. At least recapping the scoring of the first half, you had Blaine Barron scoring the first 2 touchdowns, only scored the first quarter from 20 yards out. Also a 4-yard touchdown run to begin the second quarter, a 53-yard pick six thanks to Anderson Morgan. And also you had Bryce Whitaker score on a bootleg from 6 yards out, and then Alex Carter on a fullback dive rushed it in from 40 yards out. And 3 of 5 made PATs by Logan Chin this evening. And right on cue, the two teams coming out of the locker room out onto the field to begin this second half for the Hokes Bluff Drug Shop kickoff. And this will be the first time that we'll have one of these Hokes Bluff Drug Shop kickoffs for Glencoe, as they lost the toss. Hokes Bluff 1 decided to defer And so it'll be receiving the second half kickoff, Hokes Bluff. Connor Montgomery will get set to boot it away. The third 12 minutes of play set to begin, as it'll force, looks like Morgan back to around the 2-yard line. So he'll get ahead of steam and cross the 30 to the 31-yard line, and check that. That's Logan Wyman on the kickoff return.
It's a great return right there. He caught the ball on about the 2-yard line, so yes.
What do you expect that Mike Robertson wants to be? What does he want to see out of his team, especially with a big lead coming into the second half?
Well, just fight. You know, you want to continue to fight and try to, get back in the game. It's not impossible. It's improbable, but you want to fight, and then you want to snuff out those plays that they've been successful on, like the counter tray, and the dive in the lead. That's a counter tray right there. That's a play they had trouble with.
Barron to around the 40-yard line. Looks as if they'll spot the ball back at the 39-yard line. As that's the first play from scrimmage of the third quarter, as Family Prosthetics and Medical Supply bring you our third quarter here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, located next to Foodland in Alexandria. You can find them online at www.familyprosthetic.com. Just underway here in the third quarter, as Hokes Bluff looking to take it to the finish line and make it 8 in a row in this series, as Barron with a big hole off of right guard, as he'll cross midfield for another Superior Gas first down.
Well, it's just a straight lead. Lead off the right side offensive, left side defensive line, and they found some on that side, and they just running it off there. You probably see them run a couple of leads, couple of dives, and then come back with that counter tray.
Well, you have to imagine also for Coach Rob Eddy that he really likes how his team has not only gotten out in front, but really not having to go very deep in the playbook tonight either.
Absolutely. Hey, you just use what you have to. You don't want your team you play next week to see too much,
There's Carter on the fullback dive up the middle, as he'll go to the Glencoe 45-yard line. So Glencoe, at least as far as the scouting report that Coach Rob provided to me, Eddie, earlier in the week, he noted as far as how Coach Martin for Glencoe has been able to at least increase the numbers on the roster. They had a very light roster a season ago in his first year, and we're still seeing it even tonight, Eddie, that for Scott Martin, still really a long-term rebuilding project for the Yellow Jackets football program.
Yeah, absolutely. You want to get your numbers up, and then you want to.
Here's Whitaker for the first down and a lot more, as he has the Superior Gas first down inside the Glencoe 20 at the 18-yard line, and there'll be another red zone opportunity coming up and a People's Independent Bank replay on that long first down run for Bryce Whitaker.
That's a naked boot, I think, right there. He's going to, when he look back at film, he going to wish he would have paused just a second and let that block develop, and had he done that, he'd have walked in the end zone.
Beans and greens with good country cooking. All-you-can-eat buffet for breakfast, lunch, and dinner, located on Center Road, 10294 Center Road in Ballplay, Alabama. There's the straight-ahead give going to Barron, as he'll just dive right into the line and get a couple.
You see those big linemen getting back on those, the secondary, back on the safeties, and the small outside linebacker, and they just pancaking them.
Barron with a solid night so far, over 100 yards, a couple of touchdowns, as Whitaker will come off the sideline and get the play into his huddle. Nothing fancy so far this evening for Hokes Bluff, as they've been able to more than hold their own and dominate tonight against their rival in Glencoe. Second down and 8. Here's the counter off the left side, as it'll be Barron getting the Superior Gas first down inside the 10 to about the 6-yard line. And that's kind of been the tale of this game for you. The story of this game as far as just how dominant the front five on the offensive line for Hokes Bluff. You have the guards in Helms and Chin, Reeves and Wellingham, the tackles, and then Harrison Cummings, the senior.
Well, you won't see anything fancy here. You'll see probably lead or dive or.
First and goal from the 6-yard line. Here's the quarterback keeper. Looked like an option play that time. That'll go inside the 5 to about the 4-yard line for Bryce Whitaker, the quarterback. I imagine for both teams we'll see a lot of the bench get in. Probably most of the roster we should see, especially in the fourth quarter. Some of the reserves get in for Coach Rob, for Hokes Bluff, and Glencoe Scott Martin on the other side. Mike Robertson mentioned to me about this Glencoe squad, a much improved squad. Talent level and numbers getting better, but once again, still a long way to go for the Yellow Jackets to really get back as far as playoff contention in one of the top regions in Class 3A. The give up the middle goes to Behrens. He'll try and fight his way toward the goal line as he'll be taken down around the 2-yard line for a 3-yard gain. And there you see some of the tacklers, some of the defenders. Wade Sechrist, who we really haven't been able to call tonight, one of the corners for Glencoe. Also Connor Montgomery, the other corner. Garrett Morgan and Braylon Smith, the safeties. Garrett Morgan, the strong safety, and Braylon Smith, the free safety for Glencoe. They'll break the huddle, will Hokes Bluff. Already under 7 minutes left here in the third quarter. Third down and goal from the 3. As there's the give up the middle to Carter as he gets into the end zone for the touchdown. So another second touchdown rushing of the evening for Alex Carter, as we'll take a People's Independent Bank second look at that 3-yard plunge by Alex Carter. Or check that, actually a good keeper that time on the fake by Bryce Whitaker, as he was able to follow his blocking into the end zone.
Yeah, I was about to say, it looked like Whitaker had the football right there. Fullback just gave an excellent fake right there.
Yeah, I think a lot of that defense as well from Glencoe, maybe a little fool just like I was. So Leon Chin doing most of the PAT kicking, as we'll have a new place kicker coming in, and he'll boot the PAT through for Hokes Bluff, as they are now up to 40, as we'll take this time out here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
That Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were paid $10 million in bribes.
The floodgates are literally open here.
Mike Rogers is standing up to crooked Joe Biden in D.C. Mike Rogers is our way of fighting back.
Six minutes, 32 seconds remaining in the third quarter, as it's all Hokes Bluff against their longtime rival in Glencoe, as they're well on their way to notching their 8th victory in a row over Glencoe in the series, as they're now up 40-0 here in the third quarter. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock, and the rest of our FNN crew here at Mike Robertson Stadium. A big thanks to Victory Law, one of our newcomers when it comes to the FNN family, providing our season coverage of the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. And also our third quarter brought to you by Family Prosthetics and Medical Supply. As there you saw our FNN Kickoff magazine for this 2023 season. And there you go, available for digital download and online now. So be sure to get your free collectible print copy as well, arriving shortly. And also, of course, while supplies last. There's the end-over-end kick. This will be Aaron Mann bobbling and then recovering. Trying to make something happen as he'll get across the 25 to about the 26-yard line on that Hokes Bluff Drug Shop kickoff that we've seen quite often so far this evening for the Eagles of Hokes Bluff.
Well, you like that. I told you about a couple of weeks ago when the kicker's getting a workout. Normally you have it.
I'm trying to think, was that either at Ohatchee or maybe across the river at Ragland during our first week of the season?
May have been at Ragland, I believe. But, hey, as long as he's not punting now.
But there you go. That's obvious. Well, we'll talk about that in just a minute after this first down carry as Aaron Mann goes off the right side for about a solid 3 or 4 yards. Always reminds me of what I've heard Coach Nick Saban in Alabama mention during some of his Monday pressers, as far as you want every one of your possessions, as long as every one of your possessions results in some form of kick, a punt, a field goal, or a PAT, he'll take that. Because the last thing that a coach wants is a turnover for your offense. Man goes right into the middle of the Hokes Bluff defense, and like per usual tonight, not going to get a whole lot because Hokes Bluff has been dominating defensively as well. Right up front, as you've had Caleb Thacker, Mason Howell that time on the tackle, the defensive tackle for Hokes Bluff, but they've certainly had their way up at the line of scrimmage this evening.
Yeah, just a little bit too much beef on the inside up there for them to get anything going up there.
Third down and long coming up. Line to reach the 35 for the first down. Here's the counter give going to Montgomery, and he's going to drag forward for maybe about a yard that time. Coming up on the tackle for Hokes Bluff is Braden Howard. Looking at the region schedule for Class 3A Region 6, obviously with region play beginning this evening, in addition to our matchup for the FNN High School Football Game of the Week, Geraldine hosting Plainview, Sylvania hosting Piedmont, and Ohatchee taking on Westbrook Christian at the Creek Bank. There's Connor Montgomery getting set to punt. He's not had a very busy night punting him a couple of times this evening. It's a pretty solid punt off. A somewhat favorable roll that time for Glencoe as it'll go across the 40 to about the 37-yard line.
Glencoe has a great punter. He does a great job, but you were mentioning about the region play. Don't have a Plainview score, but so far right now, Ohatchee's leading, and
I'll tell you what, of course, we saw them for our very first FNN High School Football Game of the Week a couple weeks ago, and I was very, very impressed with what Chris Findley has as far as his team to offer this season. I think they'll have a lot to say in this region this year, Coach.
Absolutely, and Sylvania's leading Piedmont at the half right now, 14-0, so,
Here's an I formation look for Hokes Bluff. And it'll be the delay give going to Barron. Actually, check that, a new running back, as you'll see now Hokes Bluff start to empty their bench as Aiden Cox getting the carry off the right side, and he'll get his first Superior Gas first down carry of the night.
Well, now's the time to do it, too. You want those guys to get some meaningful reps, in varsity games. And, normally when you play in close games, you look at film, and some of the guys don't get an opportunity to get in. And, you can tell he well coached, too. He did a great job. He had the ball on his inside hand, and as he got across the line of scrimmage, he went through his fundamentals as far as getting the ball outside away from the pursuit.
Here's the give right up the middle to the fullback. As already scoring a touchdown tonight is Alex Carter, as he'll have another Superior Gas first down.
And see, those guys, they hyped up because they want to play as well, so.
Well, People's Independent Bank will give us a second look at that first down carry by Carter, as that you have Austin Mann along with Aiden Johnson combining on the tackle for Glencoe.
What you want to do, probably after this series is get some of those starting offensive linemen out, and, you don't want to do it all at once. You want to kind of ease them in, but get some of those guys out there.
There's the straight ahead give and trying to bounce it to the outside that time. Actually, check that. Brenton Hale into the ball game. 5'10", 165 pounds, a freshman running back, as he'll get maybe a half yard across the original line of scrimmage. As a rapidly played third quarter so far, obviously with both teams keeping the ball on the ground, a lot of that clock is going to be run And for both teams, as far as the score differential, they'll be more than happy to just get to the finish line here in the second half. Here's the delay give. It'll be Hale off the near side. As he'll get across the 35 of Glencoe to about the 34-yard line. So we'll see a lot of players get off the bench, get some quality playing time, as Coach Eddie Bullock mentioned just a few plays ago, as it'll set up now a 3rd down and 6 coming up as we're racing toward the 2-minute mark left in the third quarter. A big thanks to FNN Bank for being one of our presenting sponsors here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week each and every week. And there you see our friends at FNN Bank as Hale trying to cash in on at least pushing it to the outside, trying to break it to the outside, and he'll try and turn the corner and get about a couple of yards that time. And
if we get a replay on that, I'll show you the difference between a younger back running in and more experienced back right there. He got a quick kick-out block, but he instead of him turning it up, he outran his block. He actually ran into his tackle there.
People's Independent Bank presents all of our replays this evening, and Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply brings you our third quarter. Don't forget, as far as our coverage this upcoming week of high school football around our area, the FNN Coaches Show returns for another Tuesday evening over at Strutt's Wings in Oxford. So join us for some great food as well as high school football discussions. We'll have the second week of region play coming up, and you can watch us on all of our FNN platforms, the Channel 1 24/7 platform, among others, as we'll have our FNN Coaches Show Tuesday and be over at Jacksonville next Friday for Anniston and Jacksonville. Actually, one of the better regular season games we saw a season ago, as it was Anniston coming from a 2-score deficit in the fourth quarter last year to win late in the fourth quarter. There's the punt. Pretty solid directional punt that time by Braden Howard, as he's able to try and pin, and actually does a good job of pinning Glencoe inside their own 10 around the 8-yard line. A really solid punt that time, and a few things that have gone wrong for Hokes Bluff, but otherwise, I'd say certainly against your rival and to open up your region, most of what you could ask for tonight if you're Hokes Bluff and Coach Rob.
Well, can I tell you something?
Go right on ahead.
In actuality, he's probably extremely pleased, but when you go in the film session and talk to the guys, you got to talk about punting that one time and talk about those missed PATs and that one interception. You got to, you want to pat them on the back, but then you want to make sure that you tell them.
There's the best running room of the night for Aaron Mann, as he'll get the Superior Gas first down from the 8-yard line all the way into Hokes Bluff territory. We'll take a People's Independent Bank replay at this long first down run, the longest run of the night and longest play from scrimmage for Hokes Bluff tonight. Looks as if Drew McCarver came in on the tackle for that Superior Gas Glencoe first down. So 45 yards on that carry by Aaron Mann. That may have been, well, they still have one more play to go because there's only 12 on the play clock and still about 23 seconds left in the third quarter.
Well, they caught him out of position that time. I think Hokes Bluff may have got a little bit lackadaisical and, because they still got the starters in there on the front. So
there's Kitchens wrapped up from behind. 3 tacklers around the play, including Anderson Morgan for Hokes Bluff. Also, Elijah Heath into the game, the senior, playing at a defensive back spot, as we have gotten through 3 quarters of play here at Mike Robertson Stadium in Hokes Bluff. And 12 more minutes to go here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. It's Hokes Bluff 40 and Glencoe nothing.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns. Locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
We begin the second 12 minutes of the second half and the final 12 minutes of tonight's game as our fourth quarter brought to you by Cochran Brothers Plumbing and Gas. Now serving Etowah, Calhoun, and surrounding areas, give the Cochran Brothers a call for all your plumbing and gas needs. And there you see Cochran Brothers at the bottom right-hand portion of your screen. Play action. As under pressure and going down will be Kitchens. Actually, the first sack of the night for the Hokes Bluff defense, as coming in for the sack, it's the nose guard, Brayson Hayes.
Well, he held on to it. That's a little too long. Initially, if he had thrown it, he had a tight end open up the seam, and he just kind of held it just a little bit too long and allowed the pressure to get to him.
Clock beginning to run down as we are just beginning the fourth quarter. Also, like to give our shout out, as per usual, every week to Bama Sheds for one of our newest features as far as the game day atmosphere on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week. As man will go right up the middle, bounce off some tacklers, and get wrapped up and secure his first down thanks to Superior Gas, as we'll take a People's Independent Bank instant replay at that last first down run from Aaron Mann.
That's an excellent run right there. He kind of, and that's against the starters right there. He kind of got in the gap. You know, he broke one tackle there, you know, that's two, that's three. Yeah. He made him miss about 3 times before they got him down.
Another reserve in the game, Alex Carter.
Wow, face mask, defense.
Add 15 yards to that first down run by Superior Gas for Aaron Mann, as that'll advance it further up the field. And at least right now, Glencoe certainly wants to get on the board and avoid that shutout. Was mentioning as well, a big thanks to Bama Sheds presenting our ball toss. That's at least a new part of the high school football experience as far as the FNN High School Football Game of the Week wherever we go. So a little under 11 minutes to go until we get to the finish line tonight, as Kitchens, trying to follow his blocking, gets out of the crowd, has the first down and more, as he'll be taken out of bounds inside the 10-yard line. So that is another first down by Superior Gas, and we'll have another People's Independent Bank second look.
Well, that was that buck sweep again that I mentioned to you earlier. And the quarterback, instead of trying to get it outside, he got up inside and followed his blocking, and you see the result of it. That's the way that play is designed.
Also, Beans and Greens presents the first red zone opportunity this evening for Glencoe. You can give them a call at 256-492-3267 as they provide good country cooking with an all-you-can-eat buffet as they're open for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Here's the snap. And it'll be Mann trying to fight his way through the middle. Not going to go very much as far as up the middle, as there's multiple flags on the play.
See, outran his blocking again. If you look at it, he's not allowing the blocking to develop right there. You know,
personal foul, face mask here.
So our head referee and Barry Ragsdale getting a little more busy on this drive, as we really haven't heard from him that much this evening other than the opening coin toss, as it'll be a face mask called on the defense for Hokes Bluff.
Seeing straight old school football right there. I'm seeing the buck sweep, the counter trey, the trap, the lead, the dive, the toss.
First and goal from just inside the 5-yard line. Power football coming up for the Yellow Jackets of Glencoe, as Kitchens in the shotgun. Underneath handoff going toward the far side, as it'll be Wade Sechrist getting the handoff, as he'll get maybe about a yard, possibly 2, inside the 5. Fourth quarter rolling on, as we're just under 9.5 minutes to go here in the final quarter of play. Cochran Brothers Plumbing and Gas brings you our fourth quarter.
See that inside handoff on that play right there, James, is actually a misdirection. Wing T play, and they're not carrying out. You can tell this new to them because the running backs are not carrying out the fakes. You know, they just kind of putting it out there.
Here's man following his blocking toward the end zone and waiting for the official signal just shy of the goal line. So about the 1 yard line, as it'll be a 3rd down and goal coming up, as we'll have 5 fresh substitutions coming in for Hokes Bluff on defense. So Hokes Bluff trying to maintain the shutout here. That's really the biggest area as far as drama in this game right now, because Hokes Bluff pulled away a long time ago in this ball game, about early in the second quarter.
Well, they don't want them to get in. They put the 3 massive bodies back in, so you can tell they don't want them to get in.
Definitely an aspect of the rivalry, Eddie, as far as trying to shut out your opponent. 3rd and goal. Here's Kitchens off at the right side, and he'll go right into the pile of humanity and into the end zone for the touchdown. So the Yellow Jackets on the board, but there is a flag on the play.
Well, and they had to run off tackle as well, too, because you notice they didn't run at those 3 big bodies on the inside. They count a double team the right side, and they ran off tackle, you know, so they had actually 3-on-1.
Personal foul on them. You want it here or there?
So it looks as if the penalty will be after the touchdown.
Got a personal foul here, be on the kickoff.
So they'll assess the penalty yardage on the kickoff. So a 1 yard touchdown run belonging to Brady Kitchens, his first touchdown of the evening. So we'll take a second look thanks to People's Independent Bank. And it was some hard-fought yardage, but at least for Glencoe, something positive to take with them back to Glencoe this evening, as far as Kitchens at least plowing it in from a yard out.
Well, you got a little chip in this guy. That personal foul was kind of a little after the guy was down. You seen a little punch in there, so he kind of gave him a little forearm down there.
Well,
in the side.
You know, with all rivalries, Eddie, there's always going to be some competitiveness and maybe a bit of extracurricular activity after the play. Hokes Bluff's going to be very happy, though, getting another victory in this series over Glencoe.
Well, and you're glad it was dead ball that was after the touchdown, so because you surely don't want to get that touchdown call back.
Montgomery on the PAT, that's good. We'll take the timeout as Glencoe on the board, but down 40-7.
At Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we put you first. With more than 15 years' experience, our family-owned business provides a range of services such as custom prosthetics, sports bracing, diabetic shoes, and mobility. We are located centrally in Alexandria, Alabama. Give us a call today to set up a free evaluation appointment. Also, ask about home delivery.
$40-7 in favor of Hokes Bluff, as Glencoe will kick off for just the second time this evening. Cochran Brothers Plumbing and Gas brings you our fourth quarter, and we'll have another Hokes Bluff Drug Shop kickoff thanks to Connor Mann. A lot of Hokes Bluff Drug Shop kickoffs this evening, at least most of them, however, coming thanks to Hokes Bluff. Hokes Bluff Drug Shop located on 5702 Highway 278 East in Hokes Bluff, as you can find them at hokesbluffdrugshop.com. That's shop with spelled SHOPPE. 8 minutes, 11 seconds remaining in tonight's game, as we'll take a look ahead as far as the schedules for these two teams, as we'll have some substitutions, at least some adjustments on the special teams for Hokes Bluff. Glencoe next week will be at Westbrook Christian, and then they'll return home in a couple of weeks for their first region home game against Plainview. Also, we'll take a look here at the Hokes Bluff schedule as there's timeout on the field. Next week will be a trip to Geraldine for Hokes Bluff, and then they'll return home, I believe, in a couple of weeks on the 22nd against Westbrook Christian. So actually a trip to Westbrook Christian next week for Glencoe. They'll face Plainview in a couple of weeks for their first region home game of the season. We'll go ahead and take this timeout. Fourth quarter as Hokes Bluff leading 40-7 over Glencoe. Eight minutes, 11 seconds remaining in the ball game as Connor Montgomery ready to kick off. It was a 1-yard touchdown run by Brady Kitchens on 3rd and goal from the 1 as there's the little pooch kick. That'll check up around the 37-yard line. And taking a knee will be Hokes Bluff as returning was Logan Wyman on the Hokes Bluff Drug Shop kickoff. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock, and the rest of our FNN crew with you, as we certainly like to give our thanks to Grub Mart, home at that 99-cent bag of ice, for presenting our FNN High School Football Game of the Week each and every week. Next week we'll be over at Jacksonville High School for another rivalry matchup. Anniston making the short trip up Highway 21 to face Jacksonville. And should see more new players into the ball game as there's the carry off the left side for Hokes Bluff. It actually looks as if back into the ball game is Blaine Barron, as there you see our next high school football game of the week here on FNN next Friday night, 6:30 for our countdown to kickoff. And of course that 7 o'clock kickoff for Anniston at Jacksonville. Anniston facing Munford this evening. And then Jacksonville playing one of their biggest games of the season at Handley tonight. And be sure to check our Friday night high school football scoreboard show following tonight's FNN high school football game of the week, as there's the fullback dive that's diagnosed successfully up front by the Glencoe defense. Cooper Gomez checking in for Glencoe, helping out on the tackle. And Eddie, you mentioned earlier in this ball game as far as Coach Mike Robertson facing him. Obviously one of our favorite coaches when it comes to the coaching scene around our area, and really has meant a lot when it comes to 3 decades of coaching here in Hokes Bluff.
Absolutely, and like I said, he hasn't changed anything. You know, I like it. He wanted to get some new guys in on the kickoff, and you know, as I'm speaking right now, he just ran the counter tray out of the I formation, and that's just old school football. You know, a lot of people want to go to spread and all, and, you know, I ran the spread some, but, you know, I'm looking at him. He's put up 40 points right now out of the pro set I formation, you know, pro eyes we call it, and, you know, he doing everything, you know, and his guys believe in it, and his philosophy is, okay, you know what we run, and stop it, you know.
Blaine Barron gets the Superior Gas first down carry to the Glencoe 38-yard line.
Pro eye set. Ran that when I was in high school. I mean, he just, you know, he doing the bare minimum, and, you know, what they doing, they good at it.
Barron right up the middle as Gomez from the linebacking spot comes up to make the tackle. Looks as if also we have Jacob Lucas in the ball game, the junior, for Glencoe, as we'll have a stoppage on the field timeout. And let's go ahead and take this timeout with them here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
It's quiet now, but in a few hours, the stadium will be full. The players will get dressed and prepare themselves for the challenges that lay ahead. Players dedicating themselves to succeeding on the field. Success begins with having a plan, along with the discipline to execute it. A plan that begins with choosing the right financial partner for life. People's Independent Bank, where service, solutions, and smart advice are the foundation of our bank. Isn't it time you win? People's Independent Bank. You'll like banking with us. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Hey, Hey, this is Kayla Tenney with Really Real Real Estate, serving Calhoun and surrounding areas. I am your local agent here supporting your local community, and I am a proud sponsor of the Friday Night Network. I am so excited to get to watch all the local athletes on Friday nights from the sidelines. To all of our band members, football players, cheerleaders, and coaches, good luck and have a great and safe season.
This brings you our fourth quarter as we're approaching the 6-minute mark left in the fourth quarter. As here's the counter give going to Barron off the near side as he'll bounce it toward the sideline. Just a little bit shy of that Superior Gas first down. And actually check that, Brenton Hale getting another carry off the bench for the Hokes Bluff Eagles as we now go under the 6-minute mark left in tonight's game.
That counter trap is a beautiful play, man. I love it, you know.
Yeah, just when pretty much most of football at all levels now, as you've mentioned a few times this evening, is going to the spread. And really both of these teams still playing with that old school football as there's the first down run and more in toward the end zone. And let's see if they say a touchdown. No touchdown, but a first down run by the quarterback in Bryce Whitaker as he nearly took it in for 6.
Quarterback sneak. They want that touchdown back. Those young guys want it. They want that touchdown back.
Hayden Hudson saving the touchdown for Glencoe. That'll be a Superior Gas first down and a Beans and Greens red zone opportunity as sneaking it off of center for Hokes Bluff is Whitaker. No indication yet as far as if it's a touchdown, and looks as if it's going to be shy of the goal line. So second down and goal coming up from just inches shy of the goal line. Would like to thank another one of our sponsors. The all-in-one vendor mall under one roof, Urban Rustique, located on Highway 78 in Oxford, provides our FNN game of the week as we have some early movement in the backfield. Our referee, Mr. Barry Ragsdale, calling for the false start.
Get a false start here, play second down.
So you had it looked as if Hale moving early right before the snap that time, as we'll have a substitution. Alexander Moland, the senior, checking in off the bench. Also a young team this year as well. We've seen a lot of young teams so far through our first 3 weeks, Eddie, and this is actually a pretty young squad, including a sophomore quarterback for Coach Mike Robertson this year.
Right, and that's what you want, hey.
Here's Moland, or rather Hale, off of the left side as he'll get in for the touchdown. 6 yards out, as that'll be his first touchdown of the season for Brenton Hale. As that'll increase the lead to 46-7 for Hokes Bluff, as we'll take a People's Independent Bank second look at the touchdown.
That's just a lead off the tight end side, which is a strong side, and I guarantee you he can't wait till they get to that part of the film on film session.
Well, you got to know, especially at least one of the things as far as a lopsided score provides you is those opportunities for the backups to make something happen, and certainly I'm sure his mom and dad and family will be very happy after this game at their son scoring the touchdown, as the PAT is up and it is good. So we'll take the timeout. 4:18 left. All Hokes Bluff up 47-7.
Get the look of summer year-round at Sunkissed Tanning in Alexandria. Life's an adventure. Adjust as you go. It's the time of year when your schedule is busier than ever. You'll find level 4 bronzing beds, spray tanning, or a tanning booth to meet all your tanning needs. Refer 3 friends and get a free visit. With school back in, maintain your summer color with a full line of enhancer lotions. You'll also find extended hours during the season. Call 256-403-6014 or follow us on Instagram and Facebook for special offers. Sunkissed Tanning, Suite E in the shopping center next to Foodland in Alexandria.
Coming down the home stretch, the final 4:18 of tonight's FNN High School football game of the week, as we'll have another Hokes Bluff drug shop kickoff. It's become quite a frequent occurrence this evening for the green-clad Eagles of Hokes Bluff. We've seen Leon Chin kick off, and it will indeed be Leon Chin kicking things off. The end-over-end kick as Aaron Mann fields at the 14. Mann trying to advance forward and gets to about the 26-yard line. First down and 10 coming up for Glencoe. Special teams tackle by Elijah Heath for Hokes Bluff. Our fourth quarter of this FNN High School Football Game of the Week brought to you by our friends at Cochran Brothers Plumbing and Gas. Serving Etowah, Calhoun, and surrounding areas, give the Cochran Brothers a call for all your plumbing and gas needs. What might be the final offensive possession of the evening. Bray Bearden checking in off the bench at a cornerback spot. As it'll be, looks as if up the middle that time on the carry for Kitchens, the quarterback, who's been in the entire game the signal caller for the Glencoe Yellow Jackets. That time gets about a 4, maybe 5-yard gain to around the 31-yard line. 3.5 minutes to go. More substitutions defensively for Hokes Bluff. Checking in will be Parker Causey, the sophomore. So Mike Robertson trying to clear his bench as we come down the final minutes of tonight's game. Aaron Mann off the near side as he'll break out of the pack and get the first down out of bounds to the near side at the Hokes Bluff 48-yard line. A Superior Gas first down as the clock will stop with the play going out of bounds with 3:04 remaining. As there you see Superior Gas, 75 years of service as they provide you our first downs this evening with serving Ashland, Roanoke, Lineville, Piedmont, Wetumpka, Notasulga, Lynette, Smith Station, Anniston, Alexandria, and Panama City, Florida. So basically all up and down the eastern half of the state of Alabama. Wade Sechrist will get the jet sweep carry as he'll bounce off the left side, carry a tackler with him, and get wrestled down in Hokes Bluff territory at the 42-yard line. Under three minutes remaining in tonight's ball game. Next week we'll be at Jacksonville for Anniston and Jacksonville, a rematch of one of the most competitive games in Class 4A Region 4 a season ago. And there you see another showdown as both, at least Anniston winning on against Munford for their first region game of the season. Jacksonville in a tight one throughout at Handley. There's Aaron Mann charging forward and driving those legs for the Superior Gas first down. Glencoe still has a little bit of time to try and get one more score on the board. But this game's been decided a long time ago. Really, Anderson Morgan's 53-yard pick six was the dagger for Glencoe this evening.
Yeah, it kind of took the air out of them right there. They just kind of went downhill from there.
Baylor Dunn in at one of the running back spots as play action for Kitchens, running for his life to the far side, trying to escape Howard as he will escape two tackles and get out of bounds. 1:42 remaining in tonight's ball game. Certainly a big thanks to all of our sponsors. Big thanks to all of our FNN crew for helping get us on your screen this evening, wherever you are watching us from. Don't forget, we'll be back at Struts Wings in Oxford on Tuesday for the FNN Coaches Show to recap the first region week of the season and quite a few important games coming up as far as the second region week of the season next week. There you see, you can check us out as far as our 24/7 Sports Channel 1. As far as our high school coverage, is there you see a good tackle that time by Cooper Young, the sophomore. So another one of those reserves getting some quality playing time. Jaden English coming in off the bench for Coach Robb and Hokes Bluff. And also haven't been able to take a look at our FNN Power 5 for this week. And obviously Cherokee County taking care of business last week and also doing so in their region opener this evening at Good Hope.
And James, just to give you a quick update there, Jacksonville is one ahead on Hanley.
A back and forth ball game down in Randolph County actually Southern Randolph County in Roanoke. As getting the handoff was Jake Boggs for his first carry of the evening, as we're under a minute to go in what's been a rapidly played second half. So at least coming into tonight, especially for a region opener, that's a big region game down in Roanoke this evening with possible region championship implications for both teams.
Absolutely. That's going to set the stage for that particular region.
Boggs off the left side, and interestingly enough, between those two teams last year's when Jay Haynes, now at Clemson, ran for nearly 500 yards against Jacksonville. So under 20 seconds to go, maybe time for one more play before we close out tonight's ball game. Kitchens in the shotgun, as it'll be Sechrist on the call off the left side, trying to round the corner as he gets the Superior Gas first down and out of bounds, as the clock will stop with 1.7 seconds remaining. Superior Gas providing your gas needs as far as residential, commercial, and agricultural needs as far as heating fireplaces, lighting, gas logs, and cooking. A big thanks to them for presenting our first downs. A lot of them for Hokes Bluff tonight, and a couple of first downs from Superior Gas as far as the Glencoe offense on this final drive. Final play of the game, as it'll be the play action for Kitchens as he'll throw toward the end zone, and that's intercepted. Intercepted by Bray Bearden as he'll at least continue the return, and now taken out of bounds at the 36-yard line as Bearden caps off the ball game, as we'll take this People's Independent Bank final second look at the interception to put the icing on top of the cake for Hokes Bluff tonight.
Well, I thought he was going to let his blockers get in front of him and try to pick six him there, but he just kind of ran it on.
He wanted to return the distance, the length of the field, but that'll do it for tonight, at least for the ball game, as we'll begin our post game after this as our final Hokes Bluff 47 and Glencoe 7.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
The Food Barn in Raglan offers the best in good old-fashioned hometown service when you're shopping for groceries, plus the latest ways to get great food specials your way. Click on RaglanFoodBarn.com. Follow the Food Barn on Facebook and listen to The River for weekly specials.
Where you can get everything you need from down on the farm and it won't cost you a leg or an arm.
And they're open 7 days a week. For the best cuts on quality meats, great service, and great prices, it's the Food Barn in Raglan.
That Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were paid $10 million in bribes.
The floodgates are literally open here.
Of fighting.
There's nothing like Friday night lights, watching the game on FNN.
All Hokes Bluff this evening as they led wire to wire in a 47-7 victory over rival Glencoe. The 8th consecutive victory in this long-time rivalry for Hokes Bluff, as they came in on a 42-36-1 deficit as far as the overall series, but Hokes Bluff having the upper hand over almost the last decade now, and certainly had the upper hand tonight here at Mike Robertson Stadium. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock, Jim Jacobs, and the rest of our FNN crew. As here you see the Glencoe Yellow Jackets going back off, disappointed after a lackluster showing this evening in the first region game for them and the first region game for Hokes Bluff as well. As when you take a look at the scoring, it was really a slow first quarter for both of these teams, but the turnovers early cost Glencoe as they had 2 fumbles in the first quarter. Blaine Barron cashed in directly off of the second turnover, the very next play with a 20-yard touchdown run. That helped to get Hokes Bluff going early to make it 7-0 after 1. Blaine Barron added another 4-yard touchdown run, as we'll take a look at some Hokes Bluff highlights from earlier this evening, as there's the first of a couple of touchdown runs from Bryce Whitaker, the sophomore quarterback, from 6 yards out. And this was one of the longest of the evening, a fullback dive by Alex Carter going 40 yards for the final touchdown of the second quarter, as Hokes Bluff led 33-0 at halftime. And really the backbreaker this evening, as we'll take a look at one of the final touchdowns of the game. Actually, this was the final touchdown from 6 yards out for reserve running back Brenton Hale, as here's the capper as far as for the game, literally. An interception at the goal line for Bray Bearden, one of 4 takeaways for Hokes Bluff defensively. And the backbreaker was from one of probably the best player on their team so far this year in Anderson Morgan, who went 53 yards for a pick 6 in the second quarter, as he now has 3 interceptions on the year. And he's kind of shaping up, Eddie, as far as Anderson Morgan to be one of the top defensive backs in Class 3A this year.
Well, not bad. Hey, you played 2 games and you got 3 picks. Hey, can't ask for any more than that.
Well, he had 2 interceptions against a rock-solid Southside squad last Thursday night and came up with a pick 6 tonight, so he's having a really good start to the 2023 season. We'll have more of our post-game here on the FNN High School Football Game of the Week after this.
That Joe Biden and Hunter Biden were paid $10 million in bribes.
The floodgates are literally open here.
Mike Rogers is standing up to crooked Joe Biden in D.C. Mike Rogers is our way of fighting back.
At Farmers and Merchants Bank, we're showing off our school spirit with our newly designed vertical Spirit debit cards. Now, these are customized with your favorite school's logo, and half of every Spirit card purchased goes toward your school. So, show off your colors and support your local school with the FNM Spirit debit card. You can learn more at fnm.bank. Member FDIC.
Located in Alexandria, Alabama, Ron's Barbecue is now back open 10 to 8 Wednesday through Sunday. A local family-owned and operated business, Ron's is providing slow-smoked ribs, barbecue chicken, and more. Known for the huge buffalo chicken tenders and the delicious smash burger, Ron's is perfect for the family night out or a lunchtime meeting. Come on out and try Calhoun County's newest local barbecue restaurant.
The Calhoun County Commission, made up of Fred Wilson, Danny Shears, Carolyn Henderson, Terry Howell, and Lee Patterson, ask you to take a look at what Calhoun County has to offer. Our beautiful parks, neighborhoods, recreational facilities, historic sites, and museums. Our citizens enjoy a high quality of life and strongly support the arts. If you're considering expanding or starting a new business, take a look at Calhoun County. You'll be glad you did.
from Mike Robertson Stadium here on the campus of Hokes Bluff High School. It is Hokes Bluff 47 and Glencoe 7. As we'll take a look at some scores from around our area in the state of Alabama, and actually a little surprising score from Ohatchee, Eddie, as Ohatchee had been leading really the entire night, and now Westbrook Christian at last report up 27-26.
Hey, that is a surprise. And looking at the Spring Garden Wildless score, Wildless leading Spring Garden in the fourth quarter late, 41-7.
And obviously at last report, it's been back and forth really the entire game down in Roanoke between two of the top teams, at least in our area in Class 4A. That's at least not Cherokee County, as you had Jacksonville and Handley go at it in the first Class 4A Region 4 game for both of those teams. Really, both teams have been able to have the lead kind of almost equally throughout their game tonight, and Handley was driving for a score at last report, fumbled out of the end zone as Jacksonville trying to maintain their second half lead on the road. And speaking of Jacksonville, that's where we're going to be next week as far as our FNN high school football game of the week. 6:30 airtime and 7 o'clock the kickoff time for Anniston and Jacksonville. And if Jacksonville can hold on tonight, that's going to set up a very interesting matchup again for the second year in a row as far as Anniston and Jacksonville, really to see who can get the upper hand when it comes to Class 4A Region 4. In fact, those two teams had an outstanding ball game last year. Jacksonville led for almost that entire ball game until the fourth quarter when Cam Sandlin and company led that comeback from down 16-7 to win 30-23 last year.
They kind of kicked it in there and were able to make some plays, got a little momentum, and ended up winning the region.
I think both of those teams want some better weather next Friday than they got last year when it rained for certainly the second half of that game. One more to go before we take it home for this FNN High School Football Game of the Week on this Friday night. We'll take one more timeout and then wrap it up after this.
At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, we see our community as extended family.
Hello, I'm Mark Box. My wife Holly and I would like to thank the families that we have had the honor to serve. We see our community as our extended family. That's why we work so hard to invest in our community and the families that call it home. At Glencoe Hokes Bluff Funeral Home and Anniston Memorial Funeral Home, you'll find services that are tailored to meet your needs, whatever those may be.
Piedmont Cutoff Highway in Glencoe and Highway 431 in Anniston. Our family serving your family.
Bama Sheds and Pole Barns, locally and family owned with the best customer service. Custom built to fit your needs with free delivery and setup. Design and price online or stop by and see what we can do for you. Nobody beats our prices and nobody beats our quality. Built in Alabama, made in Alabama. BamaSheds.com.
At Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we put you first. With more than 15 years' experience, our family-owned business provides a range of services such as custom prosthetics, sports bracing, diabetic shoes, and mobility. We are located centrally in Alexandria, Alabama. Give us a call today to set up a free evaluation appointment. Also, ask about home delivery.
It's quiet now, but in a few hours, a stadium will be full. The players will get dressed and prepare themselves for the challenges that lay ahead. Players dedicating themselves to succeeding on the field. Success begins with having a plan, along with the discipline to execute it. A plan that begins with choosing the right financial partner for life. People's Independent Bank, where service, solutions, and smart advice are the foundation of our bank. Isn't it time you win? People's Independent Bank. You'll like banking with us. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Your neighborhood Grub Mart is your one-stop shop for everything you need when you're on the go. Grub Mart features the best prices on Coke and Pepsi products and is the home to the 99-cent bag of ice every day. And Grub Mart is your exclusive home for the popcorn bucket. Purchase yours for only $5.99, then bring it for free refills throughout the year. And save every day with your Grub Mart Super Saver Card. When you're on the go, it's good to know Grub Mart has everything you need. Gas, diesel, and delicious Oleo donuts. In business over 78 years, visit your local Grub Mart today.
Putting a bow on tonight's Hokes Bluff 47-7 victory over Glencoe here at Mike Robertson Stadium, and certainly the Hokes Bluff community very happy at their Eagles taking care of business and then some here in the region opener this evening. James Hardy, Coach Eddie Bullock, Jim Jacobs, and the rest of our FNN crew here with you from Hokes Bluff. Certainly, we're looking ahead as far as the Bucks Island Scoreboard Show coming up in a little more than 30 minutes at the top of the hour at 10 o'clock. As they'll take a look at scores from around the state of Alabama, have some look-ins as well as interviews, a look at the standings, coaches, and a whole lot more as far as the Bucks Island Scoreboard Show coming up at 10 o'clock, so about 30 minutes away. And then we'll have at least a comprehensive look as far as Week 2 action, the third week of the Alabama High School Athletic Association high school football season for 2023, and the first region week on the FNN Coaches Show from Struts Wings in Oxford. Yours truly, along with Jim Jacobs, Joe Medley, as well as our, at least we had this fine running back from Handley as far as our Week 1 FNN Player of the Week in 5, the senior Goss, Elijah Goss, getting our second Player of the Week honors for this season. Another Player of the Week award to hand out on Tuesday, and that'll lead into Friday's FNN High School Football Game of the Week next Friday, 6:30 for the countdown to kickoff. Another showdown coming up between Anniston and Jacksonville that went right down to the wire about this time last year. So that'll do it from Hokes Bluff High School from Mike Robertson Stadium. A big thanks to all of our FNN crew that you see on your screen, on the left-hand side of your screen, Jim Jacobs, as well as my color analyst, Eddie Bullock, and for all of our FNN crew, and for you joining us wherever you are watching us from, James Hardy signing off as once again your final score from Hokes Bluff, the Eagles of Hokes Bluff 47 and the Yellow Jackets of Glencoe 7. You've been watching the FNN High School Football Game of the Week.
It's game day, and from all of us at Bucks Island,
from the Loft Tackle Store,
from the team in service,
from the team in parts,
from the sales team,
from the Bucks Island family. Good luck and go get 'em, boys.
Treating our customers the way we want to be treated since 1948. BucksIsland.com or call 1-800-I'm-READY. Let our team help you win on the water.
Hey, this is Kayla Tenney with Really Real Real Estate, serving Calhoun and surrounding areas. I am your local agent here supporting your local community, and I am a proud sponsor of the Friday Night Network. I am so excited to get to watch all the local athletes on Friday nights from the sidelines. To all of our band members, football players, cheerleaders, and coaches, good luck and have a great and safe season.
At Family Prosthetic and Medical Supply, we put you first. With more than 15 years' experience, our family-owned business provides a range of services such as custom prosthetics, sports bracing, diabetic shoes, and mobility. We are located centrally in Alexandria, Alabama. Give us a call today to set up a free evaluation appointment. Also, ask about home delivery.
For local and long-distance 24-hour towing or paint and body shop work at affordable prices, call David's Wrecker Service and Rayburn's Automotive in Jacksonville. You want excellent customer service? You always get quality workmanship, plus they're insured, licensed, and bonded. Here's the number, 256-435-7083. Located at 1116 Alexandria Road Southwest in Jacksonville. Steve Rayburn at David's Wrecker Service and Rayburn's Automotive wishes good luck to all our area teams.
Family owned and operated for over 50 years, Miller Funeral Home is committed to providing families with the finest services for their loved ones, including our newest service, Aquamation. Aquamation is a gentle, respectful, and eco-friendly alternative to flame cremation. Miller Funeral Home is the only facility in the state of Alabama that offers the Aquamation service. Call us or visit our website today to learn more about how we can serve you and your loved ones.
Get the look of summer year-round at Sunkissed Tanning in Alexandria. Life's an adventure. Adjust as you go. It's the time of year when your schedule is busier than ever. You'll find level 4 bronzing beds, spray tanning, or a tanning booth to meet all your tanning needs. Refer 3 friends and get a free visit. With school back in, maintain your summer color with a full line of enhancer lotions. You'll also find extended hours during the season. Call 256-403-6014 or follow us on Instagram and Facebook for special offers. Sunkissed Tanning, Suite E in the shopping center next to Foodland in Alexandria.